on campus, but like
It's
in
one of
the
the best.
small
I doubt it.
thing.
Seven. Members of the night.
You
gave me these two extra.
The share.
You know where I was using?
I wish I kind of did have
Every
experience
donor.
like college.
Oh, yeah.
When you go to call on them this next year.
Yeah, they will get one. All right, we're gonna call to order our Wood Village City Council and Urban Renewal Agency meeting. If I could get any willing volunteer to read the land acknowledgement.
Do it.
Thank you.
Just gotta decide whether I need to take my glasses off or not. The Chinookan people known as the Clackamas and Cascades are the indigenous people of the land now inhabited by the city of Wood Village and other areas of the Columbia River. The village of Nechockley was located near today's Blue Lake Park. Ancestral life of these people included a seasonal round of resource gathering and stewardship from the Wapato fields and fishing areas of the Columbia River to the cedar and huckleberry gathering areas of the High Cascades. Introduced disease from early settlers dramatically reduced the number of these people. They signed the Willamette Valley Treaty of 1855 with the United States government and were forcibly removed to the Grand Ronde Indian Reservation. We thank the descendants of these tribes for being the original stewards and protectors of these lands since time immemorial. We also acknowledge the systemic policies of genocide, relocation, and assimilation that still impact many Indigenous and Native American families today. We're honored by the collective work of these Native nations, their leaders and families who are demonstrating resilience, resistance, revitalization, healing, and creativity, and we are honored to be guests upon these lands.
Thank you. Now we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. We'll go ahead and move to Urban Renewal Budget Adoption Presentation.
Thank you very much, Mayor, members of the Urban Renewal Board. Thanks for making time here this evening for our 2026-2027 budget. Just again, quick reminders for watching at home. So the district formed in 2010, but we say it was viable around 2015-16 because that's when we actually started receiving increment from the district that allowed projects to move forward. Our total authorized debt limit is just over 11.5 million, and we did our first and so far only plan amendment in 2019 that added this little section here where we're currently sitting, and the board reprioritized the various projects in the plan because totaled over $11.5 million. So went through all the projects, reprioritized them, and made all the projects fit within that framework. Typically, in budgets, you get revisions from proposed to approved or then approved to adopted. That is not the case this year. There were no revisions at the budget hearing back in April and no staff revisions between that hearing and tonight. So the budget is exactly how you all saw it back in April. When looking at expenses, this is looking at it in a pie chart. You see the capital outlay and debt service are the lion's share of the budget, which is appropriate given that Urban Renewal is supposed to build things, incentivize things, do things, not just pay staff. So again, in most of that capital, all the capital outlay, the 500,000 is a placeholder to take advantage of potential opportunities in the upcoming fiscal year. I'm going to touch on what that could look like here in the next slide or two. So again, when we look at our major expenses, operations, about 150,000, that staff time, plus we increased the amount of the city attorney allocation and our planners allocation, figuring the Confederated Tribes of the Grand Ronde have signaled that they want to begin a site-specific master plan first part of 2027. So first part of the calendar year, but latter half of our fiscal year. So we've planned for additional consultant time as deals may be worked, whether it's incentive agreements or just a planning effort through that master plan process. We have our debt service payments, which the majority is our bond and then a loan to the city. And then again, that capital under 500,000, which could be used towards matching funds towards a grant to help pay for the master plan update as part of a larger incentive agreement or very early development of the Grand Ron site. Most likely, we'll be using this fiscal year for the planning process, and the next fiscal is when we'd probably anticipate more capital type work. So again, as you've all heard, the last couple of debt service payments take the bulk of all the resource from urban renewal, but that doesn't mean, one, we can't take on some smaller projects or help in the planning of the master plan site for the Greyhound Park. Also, if the Grand Ron moves incredibly quickly and wants to get shovels in the dirt this fiscal, we can always bring a package back to you all for a supplemental budget, which would be more of a bond refinance based on whatever that project looks like. But we're not anticipating that. That would be very quick process, given they don't plan to start the master plan until early 2027. That has to go through it, and then you have to work up all your engineered plans, details, etc. So pretty much we're planning for a lot of planning in this coming fiscal year. So with that, it's a pretty status quo budget that anticipates planning work for the period ahead, but no other capital construction, and we're able to afford our debt service payments. What questions may I entertain before the recommended motions are before you?
Questions, comment by the agency?
I'm sorry, it's such a long presentation. I can.
Hearing none, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to adopt resolution URA 1-2026, adopting the Wood Village Urban Renewal District budget as amended for the fiscal year of 2026-2027 and making appropriations.
I'll second.
First and second, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? And carries.
And then I move to adopt resolution URA 2-2026, certifying to the county assessor a request for the maximum amount of revenue that can be raised by dividing the taxes as provided by the Oregon Constitution, Oregon Statutes 457.
A second.
First and second, any further discussions? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And just one last thing before you're allowed to either have additional conversation or adjourn, just want to remind the Urban Renewal members of our appreciation event next Thursday. So hopefully you can all make it and have a joyous time. I think the weather is looking reasonable.
So does the menu.
Yes, we're really excited. So yeah, hope you can all make it. Just a little reminder. We'll send out another one, but since you're all here, with that, I have nothing further.
That the members are, at your discretion can stay, or you guys are free to go. Thank you.
Thanks. Good night.
Do we have to wait until 6?
Yes, we do.
All right.
It's my signature on this document
Thank you.
with my name on it.
So we'll take a
Trust him to accept.
7-minute break.
Yeah.
think you say anything anymore. We're gonna go ahead and start our Wood Village City Council meeting. We'll go ahead and move on to citizen comments on non-agenda items.
And yes, we have one. They didn't necessarily request it be brought to the council, but I wanted to relay it anyway. It was a homeowner on Ash, had concerns about a home on Maple, overgrown vegetation, general items stored around the property. It's been a long-term one, a couple decade kind of thing. And again, several years ago, we brought to the council, Jeff Condit had worked up a legal analysis of basically code enforcement in Oregon and certainly things out of the view of the public right away, while not impossible, very high level bar to pass in order to enforce some of that. So we've been trying to communicate that to the people on Ash that back up to this particular property and trying to find some other options and alternatives, because again, if we can't see it, it's very, very difficult to enforce and can open up some legal liability that I don't think we want to get into. But just wanted to bring it forward in case, they may want to write a letter or come to a future council meeting, just so you're awares of it. But it's a long-standing home that just kind of gets behind. So that's all.
Well, thank you, Greg, for bringing
I
that.
had one neighbor come to me. We need a pickleball court. Okay. Very popular. Would really enjoy one. And I said, I don't know where we put one, but I'll let everybody know.
They are really popular. They actually are quite noisy, surprisingly noisy. I mean, we did, I want to say it's 2 years ago now, we worked with Mike Abate to look at converting the upper parking lot into kind of a multi-sport court covered facility kind of complex, and didn't fit well, and it almost disrupted more of the park flow. And that's been, I think, the challenge of our park and park system. Certainly we have the new wetland park coming online, hopefully a year from now. That's a wetland park, it's a nature park. We have this park where it's, half recreation, half nature trail, but in terms of like the more active recreation, unless we take away space from the field, it's really hard to program that in. I think what would be an optimal idea as maybe part of the Grand Ronde redevelopment, as we talk about that community hub concept, maybe adding in whether they're interior or exterior sport courts that could aid in both recreation programming as well as like open play opportunities. So I think we've certainly heard that from the community, whether it's, more a full-size basketball court, more futsal, pickleball, certainly. I think we want to be mindful of that as we explore that potential opportunity, because it seems like that's the best area to try to program some new, more active recreation, given the existing constraints here and then at the wetland park. It's more food for thought, but yes, pickleball is very popular, and I don't see that waning anytime soon.
There's no room down by the gazebo. Accommodate a pickleball.
Without moving any trees and.
Oh, no, you'd have to cut down a couple of trees.
There'd be trade-offs for sure.
But anyway.
But I mean, it's anything's possible. So that's what's the trade-offs. But we are looking to schedule a Parks Commission meeting, call it mid-July time. And one of the topics is that Grove area. What is its future? Because certainly part of it works really well as active picnicking, and the rest just seems a bit underutilized.
Okay, thank you.
All right, we'll go ahead and move forward with our public safety report with our chief.
Good evening. So, public safety report for last month for May. So deputies responded to 333 calls during the month. 195 of those were self-initiated, including 106 traffic stops. Let's see, there were 12 accidents, traffic crashes in May, all pretty minor, same as last month, April. So kind of seeing that still consistent just inattentive driving throughout the city. And then obviously May 15th, there was a shooting. You guys are all aware. So involved 2 juveniles, so can't give out too many details, but the victim and the suspect were known to each other. Victim's expected to make a full recovery. Suspects in juvie or don't leave long. So turned himself in with that too. So that at least ended peacefully. And then we talked about it before, but on May 22nd, 2 deputies worked an enhanced patrol mission in the city, and they were focusing on traffic enforcement and high visibility patrol. Made over 30 traffic stops and conducted multiple extra patrols on that day. I don't know if you guys saw them out there, but they were busy, wrote quite a few tickets. So
I have to make a comment. The day after that incident, one of the officers was at the middle school in the morning greeting the students because I dropped my kids off. And just because of all the uncertainty, and it was just nice, you know, just waving at them, giving them little high fives and whatnot. That was like a sense of community and felt like there was safety when there was presence there. So I have to thank you for that.
oh yeah, thank you. I'll let them know. Yeah, we have the 2 probably our school resource deputies that are at Reynolds normally, but they also go to the middle schools and
Yeah.
elementary schools too.
Yeah, I again, like we commented last council meeting, you know, just the response that the MCSO has demonstrated, especially in incidents of that magnitude, I think for us is important. It does show our community that, you know, you guys are a partner with us and really want that safety. So, I mean, we highly appreciate just that level of service that you guys provide.
Great, thank you. Appreciate it.
Other comments, questions?
Yeah, I let Adler. Sanders, maybe? No. Well, anyways, I let them know about the white Suburban license plate number, and they have been there a couple of times
Oh, okay.
and
Good.
then gone walking into the park. And I, you know, basically, I think they're selling drugs.
Yeah,
So
I let some
he didn't
deputies on.
respond to me, but
Oh, okay. Well, I let some deputies know on Graveyard about the vehicle and the area. So I know they were out there for a little while, but
Yeah.
didn't see anything. So if you have the plate, you can send it to my email. Be
Okay.
great. I'll
And,
pass it on.
my neighbors are just about across the street from me are on vacation, and they put in a vacation watch because they have a lot of stuff. And the house where this Suburban goes to is right next to them. So they were
Okay.
a little concerned.
Okay, they put it in through the website though?
Yeah.
It's on there. Okay.
Yes.
Yeah, I noticed there were some vacation house checks on the, in May. So we're
Yeah.
getting to that time of year where people are leaving town. So
Yeah.
they're in there.
Thank you.
Sure.
Well, another question. What is the best approach for street racers? You know, and I hear them, and you just figure that by the time that anybody can respond, they're gone. So you got any suggestions, or is it just one of those things that you live with?
Well, I mean, it
A
depends.
license number?
Yeah, that could help. It just depends. Like, is it somebody speeding by once? Or
No,
is it like a,
cookies in the intersection, the Wood Village Boulevard, Narada.
yeah, if you, I mean, just calling, you can call 911 and that report
On that one.
reckless driver, let them know, you know, what kind of vehicle, you know, if there's somebody in the area, hopefully they can catch them
Yeah.
leaving.
Would would a license number then allow you to make a stop
So,
at
yeah.
a residence or something?
Yeah, if we have a named complainant, basically someone, if you called and said, you know, I witnessed this, they can call me back and ask me questions about it.
Okay,
If needed, they could just stop them based on your observation.
sure. Okay.
Not to say they can write them a ticket
No,
off of
no,
that, but they could stop them.
Yeah.
So, yeah, if you get a plate, that always helps.
Okay, thank you.
Looks like we have a comment.
Just a little bit.
It was meant to catch our illegal dumper.
Yeah.
Maybe on that footage, so
So that,
it's been put up today.
well, that could be.
Happens
Yeah.
again, definitely.
It may catch it.
Well, maybe just buy a trail cam, accidentally catch one of those.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, anyway, that's, it's an ongoing problem and it's not Multnomah County Sheriff's only problem. So thank you.
No, yeah, I mean, yeah, that happens from time. Occasionally we catch them, especially at night, because you hear it from a long ways away, but.
About 3 years ago, you caught them on Wood Village Boulevard and I was just happy to see
Yeah.
the truck come and take one of those cars and put it up on the back of the tow truck. And
Yeah, that one got impounded. It was great.
yeah, no, that was a great one. So yay for you guys.
My last comment is just a thank you to the chief. Last month, he came out to a community meeting to do some education around just good neighboring and kind of how to deal with situations around your neighborhood. And so I appreciate you, chief, and those other deputies that came out. Really, I think it was very impactful. We got great response by those community members that they really appreciate you guys coming and again, building that community, building that partnership and just sharing resources on how they can be better neighbors and how they can move forward with some progress on changing some things. So I appreciate that.
Yeah, no, thank you. It was a great opportunity, a lot of nice people. So it's fun to be there.
Then if I could just add one last thing, not to put you on the spot, Chief, but just as a good, I think, reminder as the 4th of July and fireworks season is coming upon us, both, what are reasonable community expectations and also, the sheriff's office general response, given, it's a very busy weekend and, the ability to respond to every call, especially, non-life threatening ones is very much diminished.
Right. So typically our response to like firework calls is they are aired as information. If there is some type of like life safety issue, like it's going into a tree, it's going to catch on fire, it's going into my house, things like that, then deputies will respond as they can because we get a ton of calls those nights. And a lot of them come in as people are reporting gunshots or different things that they have to check. So don't be upset that they're not coming. It's just kind of it completely overwhelms the system usually everywhere, nonstop fireworks. So if there are life safety issues, creating fires, obviously we're very sensitive to that and will respond to those kind of instances.
Thank you.
Any other questions, comments? Oh, thank you, chief.
Great. Thank you guys.
Appreciate you.
Thank you. Good night.
One thing is not with the chief.
Sure.
The light, the red light on 230. Oh, okay. No, not for you. Okay.
Yep.
I just noticed it today.
Already got that. So turned it in last week, so they might have just missed it in their inbox. So we'll take care of it first thing tomorrow because they're usually really, really solid about fixing those. So it probably just got skipped through either vacations or just what have you.
What is it?
You always run it anyways.
We're gonna have
The red light on 238th and Nevada.
Oh, okay.
The light is out, like the red light.
The red light.
Oh, yeah. I know.
Yeah, because you dismiss the red part.
It's still shining, but
Yeah.
We're gonna have to put another trail cam up there for John. John.
Colorblind. I didn't notice because you're always.
Okay, we're gonna go on and move to review of bills paid. Any question of the bills on the agenda or in the staff report?
Did.
Huh.
On the Multnomah County Sheriff's, the 141, is that a one-time payment or is that
That's a quarterly.
that's a quarterly payment?
Yeah.
Okay. And what about the 46,000 for City of Gresham?
So the 46,000 is monthly, and that's the wastewater fees
Okay.
that we pay for their treatment plan on Sandy.
Okay.
So they're both about $600,000 a year.
So
Yeah.
if you could just, it says regular, but you could put like quarter behind it, so you know that it's a quarterly payment, so people looking at it would
Not
not
monthly.
ask questions.
Yeah, no, I think we can change that description when we do the AP process. I'll have to see if that works and shows up on that report.
Okay.
Yeah, because we just print the check register typically, but yeah, I'm sure there's a way to, when we actually process the check, it says quarterly.
Yeah, and the only thing I don't know is some of that gets processed with real checks and some of it's an ACH setup that doesn't always pull in from the bank
Okay.
or export real well. We have the same problem with our credit card purchases. The bank has them as just credit card, but we have to go in and manually plug the data in to know what happened.
Thank you.
Any other questions? No? Perfect. All right, we'll go ahead and move on to consent calendar.
I just wanted to note, in case it wasn't clear in the application, but the 89 Bar and Billiard Corp. They purchased Yazzi's there at kind of 238th and Sandy. They have an existing location. I want to say it was Hillsborough, but somewhere, existing location somewhere else. So they will be taking over Yazzi's.
No questions, no questions on the consent calendar. I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve the consent calendar.
Second.
First and second, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Consent calendar passes. Now we'll go ahead and public hearing for fiscal year 2025, 2026. Gonna be 26, 27?
It should.
Public
Yes, it
hearing
should.
for fiscal year
Election numbers are correct in the
26, 27 city budget presentation.
Becky doesn't want to share.
There's a tab that says my screen.
Thank you. Tell if that's being shared or not. Christine, can you see my presentation or not?
I can see it.
I think we need to turn up a volume. Can you turn up the volume? Christy, I couldn't hear you. What was that?
I can see it.
Okay, perfect.
Yeah, you're good.
Thank you. All right. Now for our city budget for the upcoming fiscal year. So again, a recap, mostly from the budget hearing back in April. We have no changes in the total number of personnel. All operating budgets have operating revenues in excess of cost. Maybe some just paper thin margin, but still a margin, and that is on operating. So that doesn't include the one-time or the capital. And fire service costs continue to be, a focal point. And we've also continued to include, we've been calling it temporary fire station. We're kind of re-saying it as it's a new permanent location. We have a temporary facility until, a new fire district, spins up and can figure out what exact facilities needed for the long term. So temporary facility, permanent location, and then the community engagement that goes around both the current work and potential for a levy. So when you look at the total budget for all funds, so again, this is not just operating, but the total as funds move back and forth. Overall total is relatively flat, but you have growth in the sinking fund, which makes sense as we're accumulating funds for new purchases. Sewer, because we've pivoted from doing the trunk line project that was in previous budgets to focus on manhole sealing to see what that does to reduce our inflow and infiltration and needing less capacity in the future. So those are the biggest moving pieces around the total budget. When we looked at the modifications from proposed to recommended by the budget committee, that's where we added the $10,000 to add parking lot lighting or just parking lot lighting in the park. That was the one amendment that the budget committee made. So that is incorporated into this budget here. So again, operating revenues weren't up a lot. Again, as we budget and project, we try to be more conservative on the revenue sides and a little more pessimistic on the operating costs. Typically, we come in excess of revenues and below cost, but we have revenues about 0.8%, operating costs almost 4%. But again, some of it may be a razor thin operating margin, but there's still margin. And when you look here, just how it's broken up. So personnel is 37% of our budget, materials and supplies 51. A lot of that is based on, again, we contract out for police and fire and 911. So we're not carrying those direct staff. So that's where those are reflected. In a lot of other cities, you may see that reverse, but that's because we're contracting out and it lives in that materials and supplies. Before we get to these motions, obviously time for questions. I just want to point out something, as I'm sure we've all been hearing the different financial concerns and considerations. The county had a 12-hour-long budget session last week, and that was along with all their other processes. And I don't want people to think, whether it's you all or our community, to think, oh, gee, 6 slides of your budget, you don't care. In fact, the 6 slides of the budget is, I think, proof of the financial stewardship of not just, you all this year staff, but of, past several years, decade plus of prudent financial management that allows us to be in this spot of, yes, we can maintain current service levels. We don't need to introduce new fees or have large increases to public safety fees, et cetera, or make very difficult budget decisions about what services are going to be cut. So it's a lean budget, focused on fire and, prudent capital projects. We have our street rebuild and slurry seal. We have our I&I work, our booster station work, and then, the new park, which is mostly grant funded. So still doing good works, saving for the future. But again, it's a lean team, and it's been a lean team focused on critical essential services that meet the community's needs. So again, just want to compliment you all for that work, and not always, it's easy to chase something shiny or to chase, we want to do something today versus thinking of the future and what it means for the community. So with that, happy to answer any questions you may have.
Any questions, comment by council or others on here at the dais?
Greg, I think you've done a fine job leading us. And I think anybody that watched these meetings and saw our financial situation in this small town would realize that other people should look at it and think, what are we doing wrong? Okay? That's all I got. I mean, we've always done well, and we're doing better now, and I thank you.
Well, and that's, again, when hit with unpredictable, out of our control, increasing public safety costs, we had a way to work through that and involve our community without panic, without large fees. It's an issue that needs resolved, certainly, and long term it needs a different financial solution, but we're able to give that a landing path to find that solution, involve the community, and still provide essential services.
Yeah, I gotta, echo what Councilor Smith said of just, your leadership, Greg, in providing our city core essential services. I think has been a conversation that council has had over the last couple of years of, maybe reducing in some areas, some things, understanding that decisions were going to had to be made in the future. And I think that's allowed us to not drastically make, decisions as others have because of earlier conversations of, again, forward thinking that you and your staff have presented to council to make those decisions. So appreciate your leadership in that.
Thank you. But I like to think I stand on the shoulders of giants to my left and right. And then certainly to our team members, we have one here, Nick, our utility worker. So, I mean, it's thank you. And yeah, it's a collective effort.
And again, the piece that overall in the budget and what I've watched for a number of years is obviously our ending fund balance. And our ending fund balance has in every year that I've been here, very, we are wise in keeping an ending fund balance that is healthy. And I call it out tonight because on that sinking fund, if you notice the percentage in there, I think it was 23% increase. It's the right thing to do. We're going to need that sinking fund, and putting money, and I call it rat hole, and that money away is going to be necessary. So
it's, I think just proper stewardship of the public resource and future people behind us as facilities, whether it's part of this building or critical infrastructure, need replacement. That future us is set up for success. I mean, that's the job.
It's an investment in our investment, so. Yeah, it's an investment in our investment, so it's well designed. Any further questions, comments?
Nope.
If none, I'd entertain a motion.
I move to approve Resolution 8-2026, certifying municipal services provided for the purpose of establishing eligibility for the receipt of state and shared revenue for fiscal year 26-27.
I'll second that.
Sorry, I have a clarifying question. Was I supposed to open a public hearing and then closing it
Wouldn't hurt to.
before we take a vote?
Yeah.
Okay, I will open the public hearing for our fiscal year 2026-27 budget.
Public, I'm technically out of district, so.
Okay, with no comment, I'll go ahead and close the hearing. There is a motion on the table, and I believe there was a second. All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
I move to approve Resolution 9-2026, adopting the City of Wood Village budget for fiscal year 2026-27 as amended and making appropriations.
And Mayor, it might be best to declare that conflict of interest
Yeah.
at this time.
As a mayor, I do have a conflict of interest as the joint recreation program. So I just want to put that on record.
I'll second that.
First and second, all those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
Last one.
I move to approve Resolution 10-2026, levying and categorizing ad valorem taxes for fiscal year 26-27.
I'll second.
First and second, any questions, comments? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries.
And with that, our 2026-27 budget is approved.
Good job.
Yahoo.
Thank you.
Like I said, it was a short presentation, but it reflects a lot of long-term work and prudent
Straightforward.
responsibility.
There's nothing hidden.
No,
Pretty transparent, so
nothing hidden.
that's why it's easy and fast.
Well, congratulations, staff. Yeah, you got it. One and done.
All right, we'll go ahead and move to ordinance 2-2026 building fee.
Now it's my turn to see if I can figure out the sharing controls.
That's the kind of places I like to work.
But the bar is low.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Or
Stewing.
the bar.
Yeah.
So all right. Thank you, Mayor and Council. We do need to open a public hearing on this. This is the last official part of the process for raising our building fees. So you need to open a public hearing for any comments on this proposed building fee increase that you guys saw back in May and passed the resolution on.
We'll go ahead and open public hearing, inviting those that would like to comment. Seeing none, we'll go ahead and close the public hearing.
Yes. So the building fee, this is something that comes up every year. Gresham has been in the habit of increasing their building fees on July 1st of every year. And really what they're doing this year, not a lot of structural changes. They are increasing their hourly fees for the work that they bill out hourly. So their employees get a cost of living increase, their benefit calculation changes. They increase that so that it's a cost recovery rate for when they have to do hourly work. This incorporates that. This was presented at your April 14th council meeting, and you guys passed a resolution. That, so here you can see we did the resolution. There was a building official review, which we sent to Gresham. We submitted that to Building Codes Division. There's a 45-day period for Building Codes Division for people to submit once we have gotten it to them. And the last part is our ordinance approval to enact these fees. So in order to take advantage, in order to comply with the requirements, the effective date on this is going to be July 10th, because that depends on the date which we actually, our building official sent it to BCD. So that's why we're coming back. We have to do the resolution and then the ordinance in that order with the specific time frame. Again, we had main change here is the updating of the hourly rate. The Gresham charges, it's going from $175 an hour to $184 an hour. We like to align our fees with what Gresham charges us. And the reality is that there aren't a lot of our permits that could build the hourly rate for special consideration. It's usually this kicks in after 1 or 2 reviews and they have to start working with the contractor for things that have habitually been missed. They start to get a little, they give you a freebie. And then if you continue to not follow the process, they start to charge you an hourly so that they don't waste a lot of staff time for people who aren't putting in the effort. So it's roughly a 5% increase for those fees, but again, a lot of those aren't changing. So again, this is matches up with the resolution. Nothing's changed since you saw it in April. This is just the last official step in this process. Available to answer any questions or concerns.
Questions, comments by the council? I'd entertain the motion.
I move to approve ordinance 2-2026, an ordinance updating the building fees and setting an effective date of July 10th, 2026.
First and second, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Motion carries. Now we'll move to resolution 11-2026, investment policy annual review.
All right. Different presentation. Oops. Oh, I am screen sharing. Great.
You're so good. Don't know it.
Look at that. Hardly a speed bump. Council, Mayor, thank you again this evening. So what we're considering is our investment policy. This investment policy is something that we worked with you all to develop in 2024. It's something that in order to keep our eligibility for the short-term investment fund that the state uses, they require an annual reauthorization. So this passed in spring of 2024. We brought it back in June of 2025. It will be June of 2026, and this will keep us good for another year. So I'll just review a little bit of why we're doing this. It's recommended as a best practice by the Government Finance Officers Association and the Oregon State Treasury. It's general direction for staff on how to invest the city's money and what vehicles to do, risk, kind of a process that we need to follow if we go out for financial advising or consulting services. Communicates to staff what your goals and intentions are with that. And again, this was last updated in 2025. Four big things that we're looking at doing and kind of what the discussion in 2024 was. We want to preserve our capital. We don't want to be speculative. We want to protect the resources that we have to spend on projects. We need liquidity to meet our operational needs. We're not looking to make buku bucks on this because we would get into arbitrage and we'd have to give that back even if we were successful at it. And we want to make sure that everyone stays out of jail, Greg especially. He would not do.
Wouldn't survive.
No, you wouldn't.
Too good.
So we ran it through a fairly robust process with the Treasury Advisory Board. We adopted most of the recommendations for the annual revenue. As long as we're not changing anything substantive, we really don't have to run it through them again. We just submit it after the council approves it. I will say that, when we first brought this up in 2024, we were looking at potentially investing in some longer 1 year, 2 year, 5 year options to maintain our investment returns. The graph you have here is what the 10-year treasury rate has been since we first looked at this in 2024, and it has essentially been flat. So as the market has been flat, we've chosen to keep the money in the local government investment pool, which is currently paying about 4%, mostly to preserve liquidity. And the big reason for that is we weren't sure what bill was going to be coming due for fire, and we're still not sure what the solution to fire looks like in terms of what it's going to require for capital. And I will say that part of the idea of financial stewardship is and where that practically comes into play is, if we are looking at doing a fire station somewhere in the Wood Village, Fairview area as part of this fire task force, it's nice to be the city that has money and resource and bond rating to have it located, to have a say in where that station is located. So preserving that liquidity and keeping our options open, just again, this is how the decisions that were made in the past of financial stewardship and the conservative fiscal outlook that you have pay off in dividends and the ability to participate in conversations and make decisions that will impact our community for a long time. That's all I have for on the presentation. The staff reports in the packet. I am available for any questions that you might have.
Any questions, comments? Any question?
I know, I saw that exclamation point,
No,
passive aggressive.
I like feedback.
Hearing none, I would entertain a motion then. We can yell at him too. So.
It is all in caps.
And bold.
It is, so I should talk loud.
I have myself, especially this time of night, if I've been staring at a screen all day, I have to get my readers out to even look at my phone. So I've been blowing up the font on all of my presentations.
I move to approve resolution 11-2026, adopting the City of Wood Village's investment policy.
A second.
First and second, any further discussion? All those in favor? Aye. Any opposed? Resolution passes.
Mayor, council, thank you.
Now we're at our city attorney's report.
Good evening, Mayor and Council. I don't have anything to report, but no news is good news from legal, so.
You're not in trouble and going to jail.
No one's going to jail that I know
That's
of.
good. That's good. Well, thank you. We'll go ahead and move to mayor and council comments. Just a reminder, one more time, Tuesday, June 18th at 5:30, we have our appreciation dinner here at City Hall.
Did you say Tuesday?
Thursday.
Thursday.
He did say Tuesday, though.
I might have.
Good.
Because Tuesday, June 23rd is our next council meeting.
Yes. Really quick though, just touch base on the scholarship review committee having, I think, trouble finding the right date for everyone. And since some people weren't here when we appointed them, just wanted to, I think, reaffirm with
Does she know?
everyone is on that I don't know how to say this, but just trying to find a process. And if that means it's only one council, is council okay with that? Or do you want to have a further discussion on it?
I'm sorry, if there was
What was
just
it?
one counselor,
Yeah, because I think we're having trouble lining up some
So
dates and options.
Caroline, you, and then John?
No,
Who's Caroline and John?
it's just Caroline and Counselor Gothard were able to align.
Oh,
I
gotcha.
think we're having some scheduling conflicts.
With me?
Sorry, I
Say it. I did.
I forgot you and I have been doing it.
We quit.
Yeah, oh, we quit.
Yeah, anyway. I'll do that.
Twitter, I resigned. Was that the same thing?
Force anyone or be on their time.
Get someone else an opportunity.
It was a
Yeah.
big span of hours.
It is, because we got,
And Thursday was a shorter span of hours and, I'm a busy woman.
we just want to respect that for any counselor. We also just wanted to confirm with the council, be okay with just one counselor on the review committee if it eases the burdens of others.
I'm okay with that.
If we need another one, I can volunteer since we have two other quitters here, so.
You know what?
Words is very important.
What? We have been doing our
We
duty
wanted to give everyone an opportunity.
and we're trying to spread out one of the opportunities to meet these young adolescents moving off into the world. And,
Than you, John.
I'm not talking about you as an adult,
We're talking about the students. Applicants.
but
I think we're gonna.
Anyway,
For the mayor, we'll
think-
make that work. If not, it sounds like one counselor on the review committee is acceptable as well. Again, we just don't want to have this to be an undue burden for anybody. We understand there's other time constraints and conflicts and interests outside of this gloriously paid work that.
that does pay double time when you.
We are getting a raise, aren't we?
Yeah,
Oh, yeah, doubling it.
yeah, double.
So we're using the same assessment.
Correct.
Because we don't need to reevaluate. We
No.
looked at that last year already.
Correct.
Yeah.
And how many applicants? Six.
We had some come over the weekend, which was wonderful. Kind of some last minute ones.
Well, that is good.
Some arms.
Okay.
Can you do it at times? Let me know when she can do it
Okay.
and I will.
We'll have Caroline follow up and confirm and we will figure it out.
My dog might not be.
Bring your dog.
but, just.
All right. That was all I had.
Yeah.
Awesome. With that, then we are adjourned. Thank you.
You.
Thank you.
Yeah, records are made to be